Hi friends, welcome back. If it's your first time here, my name is Jess. If you've been around for a while, you know that you've reached the channel of transformation. We are all about transforming and upcycling thrifted finds. The Christmas season came and went just like that. And with that, I decided to go through my garage, see what I could find without spending any more money, and what I could upcycle that I already had. So I found lamps. I must have been on a lamp buying spree for a while or something, because I found 5 or 6 of them in my garage. So I decided we're gonna do an episode on Revamp those lamps. So let's go see what we can do with the lamps that we already had. This base I found in the Goodwill bins for probably under $2. I started out by removing the backing so that I could access the screw that would remove the light bulb socket. I also have this candlestick, which after the light bulb socket was removed, I used E6000 to adhere it to the lamp base. My original idea for this was to put a big Edison bulb in this base and then to put a hurricane vase over top upside down. But then I remembered that we do not have any outlets in our office space. So I needed to think of a way that I could use a battery operated light bulb. Here I just took the drill and drilled a hole in the top of the candlestick. This will allow me to screw the light bulb socket that was on the original lamp base into the candlestick so that we have a place to put our battery operated light bulb. These light bulbs are actually really cool. They come with a remote control. I get them as a set of 2 from Amazon, and they're rechargeable. You just unscrew the light bulb, plug it in, and it charges back up. You put it back in the lamp, and you can use the remote control. And it has several different settings as well as far as colors of lights. I had this lampshade on hand. I found it at Habitat for Humanity months back and never used it. I do end up gluing it down a little bit to make it a little more stable. And then I was able to screw in that battery operated light bulb, and that helped hold the lampshade in place as well. And here's the finished look, sitting on the edge of my desk, no cord required. And it allowed me to use several pieces from my stash. I used that lamp base that was the original lamp, and we used the socket from that lamp, drilled the hole in the candlestick that I already had, put the socket in, the battery operated light bulb, and the lampshade that I had here in the garage. For those of you that have been around for a while, you might remember this little lamp from my thrift store haul. It was black, and I went ahead and painted it gold and added a little bit of the Spanish copper rub and buff to give it a little bit more of a warm feeling. So here it is, painted gold. The lampshade had a lot of little pills on it, like fabric pills, so I went ahead and used this fabric shaver to shave off all of those pills. And then I decided that I was going to go ahead and give the lampshade a fresh coat of white paint. And this is just a chalk paint that is made by Behr. I got it at Home Depot, and it's just off the counter, the bright white color. So I just used the paintbrush and I went ahead and painted the lampshade. This lamp as well was going in my office space, so I removed the cord from it and again added one of those battery operated light bulbs. And here it is sitting on top of our filing cabinet. I just think it is so darling. And again, no cord to mess with. This lamp here is one of those ones that I had and I wondered whatever attracted me to it. But it's okay, we're going to do something totally different with it. I had to take it completely apart, so I used these long needle nose pliers to reach up into the lamp base to remove all of the light socket pieces. This one took me a bit to figure out how I was going to put it all together, and I needed Jerry's help just a bit. So I cleaned it all off, and these were some of the parts that I ended up finding that I was going to use. My goal here was to try to make a bird bath. This long metal piece I found in the yard somewhere. I don't even know what it is, but I had Jerry cut it down for me, and he grinded the top of it so that it wouldn't have jagged metal edge pieces. And all these little pieces were different parts of a lamp. This double end screw rod we took off of that base lamp that we did in the first transformation. We used some heavy duty caulk glue and glued it into this little metal piece. And it was a bit of a challenge getting the nut and bolt back up inside that lamp to secure this rod to the lamp again. But once we had it secured, we went ahead and started assembling all the other little parts that we found. So again, that metal rod I found just out in the meadow somewhere in the yard. And this was a pillar candlestick that I had. I just unscrewed the bottom. So we went ahead and put the caulk on the rod and inside the hole of the candlestick, placing those two together so that they would dry secure. Then I went ahead and put that pole up on top of that double screw rod from the other lamp. And I used a combination of glues as well as the caulk. I also used the E6000, and I did use a little bit of hot glue just to help keep it in place while those other glues had time to dry. I was feeling here like it just wasn't secure enough. So I remembered I had that socket piece from that base lamp that we did in the first transformation. And after fooling around with a couple other pieces, I thought I would go ahead and put that socket piece on to help give the base of this rod a little bit more security. It's so much fun when you can use all the pieces of things that you take off of other items, and you have this pile of parts, and it's kind of like a puzzle trying to figure out what will work with the other projects. But that definitely did help secure that rod. So then I went ahead and put E6000 on top of the candlestick, and I used a little bit of hot glue as well. And I found this metal pan in the shed, went ahead and glued that on top. I started out by using the stone spray paint to give the whole lamp and the post a stone-like texture. And then I went in with black, gray, a little bit of a rusty color, and silver spray paint. I just kept alternating so that I could get the color of the base as close to the color as the pan on the top. It wasn't an exact match, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more cohesive and tie in a little bit better. So here I am alternating those colors. And after that had time to dry, we put it in our flower bed. Here is the finished look. This next project was actually kind of fun. I removed the lampshade and threw it away because it had some stains on it and it was actually bent in and I could not fix it. So I removed the bottom of the lamp and I took out all of the electrical pieces. So I took out the wire and removed the light socket. And these long needle nose pliers actually came in handy with these projects because my hand certainly would not fit up inside those little holes of the lamp. And I removed the base and the top of the lamp, and I am going to go ahead and give them a coat of gray spray paint. If you're still watching, now is a great time to hit that like button. If you want to share this video with a friend and hit the notification bell so that you never miss an episode. This allows us to grow and we can continue to bring you guys creative content. So for the base of the lamp, I went ahead and used a tan color paint by Country Chic. It is a mineral-based paint. I just went ahead and used a chip brush and I actually gave it 2 coats. I sanded in between each coat and allowed that to dry completely. And these chip brushes are great because they're nice and cheap, but the other thing about them that I don't like is that they seem to shed and then I'm constantly picking out little pieces of the bristles from my paint. Here I am using a combination of hot glue and the E6000 glue. I went ahead and attached that base securely to the bottom of the lamp. I printed out this stencil from my Cricut Maker machine. It says spare change. My 15-year-old has a habit of just leaving his change everywhere around the house. I find it on the desk and on the kitchen counter and on the kitchen table, down the cracks of the couch. And so I thought it would be a great place for him to put his spare change in. I stuck it on his nightstand and he has a place to throw his spare change instead of having it all around the house. So here I just used a gray color paint. I think it's the Apple Barrel brand from Walmart. I went ahead and used a sponge brush and just stippled that paint onto the stencil. After that was completely dry, I went ahead and removed the stencil and I used a weeding tool to remove the stickers from the center of the letters. I also had taken a piece of hardware that I had. It was just a drawer knob and I used E6000 to glue it to the top part of the lamp where the light socket used to come out of. I put that on top and now he has a cute little place to put his change. It's amazing what you can do with lamps. You just have to really think outside the box. But I think in this video, this ended up being my favorite project. Lamp, I just love the shape and the color of it. I had Jerry go ahead and grind that top top portion off and I removed all of the cords and wiring that was inside of the lamp. Then I went ahead with a sander and sanded smooth the inside of the lamp. I didn't get a video of it, but I did use a whitewash over the outside of the lamp just to tone down the color a bit. So you can see that here. I took it in my bedroom and I added some stems and it made the perfect vase. Can you guys comment down below and let me know what has been your favorite lamp revamp project in this video? And here's something that I learned about stems. Instead of cutting them off, I just went ahead and bent it in half to put in this vase. That way, if I ever choose to use these for a different project, they're not cut too short and I can just unbend them. And these I found in a pack at the thrift store for $1.99. And here is the finished look. I'm very happy with how this came out, and I love the color combination and how it fits so well with my bedroom decor. Again, I want to remind you guys to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I know that this can sound redundant in every video I say it, but really that is one of the best ways to help us grow our channel so that we can keep doing what we love and bringing you guys the creative content. Until next week, my friends, thanks for watching. Have a great week.